Story: The Tortoise and the Hare. Brother Tortoise Ramji, that's exactly what's bothering me, exclaimed Maulana Gufran. When the doctor was orating on all manner of things, I was wondering how what he was saying could possibly solve your problem. I realized that people who read too many books get entombed under their tomes and volumes of information and lose the faculty of reasoning. I must find someone who can use his own brain and answer your question. I mean your prashna. Yes, please Mullaji, as soon as you can. Ishwar will bless you. I've taken you into my heart. Tomorrow I'll bring another of my colleagues. He is the professor of philosophy. Thought and reason are his business. The real name of the professor in question was Allah Ditta, the gift of Allah. He was from Punjab but had been educated in Jaunpur and Lucknow. Living in these parts, he became uneasy with his Punjabi name and changed it to Maula Baksh, which means the same thing, the gift of the master. Before he came to Maulana Gufran's school, he used to sell biscuits and rent out furniture. He made the biscuits himself. He never wrote down what was due to him, but made a mental note of it. Whenever a student leaving college owed him money, he immediately impounded all his furniture to recoup himself. When Maula Baksh first came to the institution, he asked the principal that his name be entered in the records as Al-Falsuf Al-Hindi. He had that name printed on his calling cards. From that day, he was Al-Falsuf Al-Hindi. Only a few people knew of his having been Allah Ditta and Maula Baksh. Dr. Filfor's lengthy discourse had delayed Maulana Gufran. He had a lot to do at his school and at home. It was only in the evening that he was able to go to Al-Falsuf Al-Hindi and tell him all that had passed between him and the Tortoise, and between them and Professor Kipchak and Dr. Filfor. He expressed his deep regard for the Tortoise and begged Al-Falsuf Al-Hindi to help the old Tortoise out of his predicament. Al-Falsuf listened with rapt attention before he replied. Let me make it quite clear. It's always best to be quite clear. I've nothing whatsoever to do with tales and legends or literature of any kind. This is the age of reason, and I believe in keeping my mind clear of cobwebs. I will find the answer with my own innate faculty of reasoning, and if I can prove by that power of logic that it is probable or possible for the tortoise to have won the race, I will convey the good tidings to your friend. You can never rely on legend. First, let me get the problem clear. If there is a race between a tortoise and a hare, which of them will win? If I am given no further information and have to deal solely with the question, then I can say that either could win. Let us assume that a hare is a fast runner and a tortoise slow on its feet. Nevertheless, if this assumption is based only on observation and probability, we cannot base any firm, infallible conclusions on that probability. Our observations often lie. They deceive us every day, morning and evening. A mirage makes sand dunes appear like a stretch of water. The sun appears to be circling round the earth. Maulana Gufran, I promise to think over this problem at night. I will accompany you in the morning and make acquaintance with your friend, the tortoise. Early next morning, Maulana Gulfran went to Al-Falsof al-Hindi's house and the two proceeded to the river. The tortoise awaited them. He greeted them with a broad smile. "Welcome, Mullaji, and to you, revered sir. I also extend my welcome." "This is my friend, Al-Falsof al-Hindi," said Maulana Gufran, introducing the two. "I've told him about the prashna that has been torturing your mind. He has thought about it and will tell you all there is to know." "I touch your feet," said the tortoise, bowing towards Al-Falsof al-Hindi. "There is not very much to my prashna. Just tell me who won, the tortoise or the hare. If you can tell me for certain that the tortoise won, I will take on a hare tomorrow." "Mr. Tortoise, you are a friend of my friend Maulvi Gufran, who has told me of your problem," replied Al-Falsof al-Hindi. "But I'm afraid I cannot tell you who won. I was not present at the race, and even if I had been there watching it, how could I state with any measure of certainty that what I had seen with my eyes was right? Eyes can deceive. I suggest that you keep the outcome of the race out of the debate. As far as I'm concerned, the result is of no consequence. The crux of the matter can be put thus. If you and the hare were to run against each other, who would be the winner? Not who won, but who will win. There can be three possible alternatives. First, the hare is faster on its legs than you, and you run at your usual pace. In that case, you will lose and the hare win." The tortoise took a deep breath. His eyes became moist. "So, all that I've been told is a lie? It's the hare who will win?" "Don't be impatient, Mr. Tortoise," exclaimed Al-Falsof al-Hindi. "I've only stated the first proposition. It is subject to many provisos." "Surely, this is the bitter truth. My defeat is ensured." "No, sir. Be patient. The second alternative is that we assume that you walk faster than the hare and you both start the race simultaneously. In that event, you will win." "Mullaji," pleaded the tortoise, turning to Maulana Gufran, "is he making fun of me? If I could fulfill this condition, why should I have bothered to ask you this question?" "No, Mr. Tortoise, there is yet another alternative," said Al-Falsof al-Hindi. "The hare runs fast and you jog along lazily, but you keep on moving. The hare stops on his way to take a nap, and if he does not get up in time to resume the race, then, despite your slow pace, you will win." The tortoise turned to Maulana Gufran appealingly. "Mullaji, why on earth should he take a nap? Who is there to lull him to sleep?" Maulana Gufran asked Al-Falsof al-Hindi, "Can't you pose some assumption by which our notions of the relative speeds of the hare and the tortoise be such as to ensure the tortoise's victory?" "You have not yet heard all I have to say. Besides, I have not acquired my mastery of logic in vain. Do you think I am unable to posit an assumption that will ensure victory for the tortoise?" The tortoise began to look more cheerful. "Please, revered sir, enlighten me further." Al-Falsof al-Hindi continued his discourse. "Let us assume, as you would have us assume, and there is no reason to assume that a hare must always be quick-footed and the tortoise drag-footed. But for the sake of argument, let's admit that such is the case. Now, I put it to you, this race that you talk about, will it take place on dry land or underwater?" Maulana Gufran interrupted him. "Sir, You present us with some premise by which, although the race were run on dry land, and although we are correct on our surmise that the hare is fast and the tortoise slow, the issue would be decided in favor of the tortoise. There is one such premise, but you must understand the conditions that are attached to the premise. These are as: the direction of the race must be clearly stated. The time of the race must be clearly stated. Both the tortoise and the hare must run according to their respective speeds without any stops whatsoever. And above all, at the outset of the race, the tortoise must get a short start, even if it is as little as 1 yard. And now, listen very attentively and try to comprehend what I say. Imagine there are two bodies or things, A and B, both in one straight line. One in front, the other behind. The distance between them is D. A and B move ahead according to their respective speeds. Now it is clear that whatever the speed at which the body B travels, slow or fast, as long as it sticks to its predetermined path, it must cover a certain distance, however great or small. But pray enlighten us. What relevance has all this to the tortoise and the hare? I have explained it already. If we take B to be the tortoise and keep it continuously moving forward, then between it and the other body A, that is, the hare, there will always be a certain distance. A, that is, the hare, will never be able to catch up with B, that is, the tortoise. Consequently, B must be the winner. Maulana Gufran gaped helplessly at Al-Falsafa al-Hindi. Signs of pleasure were apparent on the tortoise's face. He spoke with some diffidence. Mullaji, I have not understood everything our revered friend has said, but it would appear that victory would surely be ours. How would it affect his argument if he were only to state explicitly that the tortoise will win? Al-Falsafa al-Hindi smiled. To exhibit any more pleasure was against the dignity of his discipline. I have made everything crystal clear, and still you request me to expound the matter fully. Mullaji, if you wish to put the hare in A's place, you may do so, and the tortoise at B, the distance between them, a yard or so, be D. Let the race begin. If Mr. Tortoise continues to run at his usual pace without stopping anywhere or falling asleep, he will win. This, my power of reasoning says, is inevitable. There is no room for faulty observation, nor the uncertainty of conjecture in this proposition. Do you understand this, Pandit Tortoise Ram? Asked Maulana Gufran. Hurl your challenge, but don't forget that at the commencement of the race, you must be 1 yard ahead, or let's say for safety's sake, 2 yards ahead of the hare. He will never be able to go past. Our friend Al-Falsafa al-Hindi is a man of great foresight. We cannot be expected to see that far. Mullaji, you ask him to say just once that we tortoises will win, pleaded the tortoise. Now look, Pandit Tortoise Ram, the philosopher said. I do not have any truck with fantasies. Why should so-and-so or so-and-so be asked to say so-and-so? How do I know whether it is the hare or the tortoise that will win? If the race is run according to the plan that I have outlined before you, then B will win. If Mullaji chooses to make you B and you are brave enough to accept his choice, the preconditions I have laid down will be fulfilled and the victory will be yours. But if these preconditions are not fulfilled, then the whole thing falls to the ground. That would be the end of the episode of the hare and the tortoise. A completely new plan would have to be devised. Have we erred in any way that you should in a trice reduce all our hopes to ashes? Pleaded the tortoise, turning to Maulvi Gufran. I do not understand all his words, but from his use of the phrase end of the episode, I gather he means reducing all our hopes to ashes. Hare into ashes, tortoises into ashes. No, Pandit Tortoise ji, that's not what he means at all, said Maulvi Gufran. Only the pressure of your Prashna has been too much for his brain. But he has made it all very clear. If you do as we have told you, you will certainly be the winner. Only don't forget to start a yard or two ahead of the Hare. If he forgets that precondition, the whole plan falls to pieces. If the precondition is not there, there is no preconditioned victor. Now, if you will allow me, I must leave. You two can continue your dialogue. I have worked up a headache. I must return home and take my brain tonic. Well, peace be upon you and may God protect you. All right, you may go, replied Maulana Gufran. We'll be seeing each other soon. Many thanks. You've done us a very great service. You will agree, Brother Tortoise, what a wonderful answer our Al-Falsafal Hindi has given to your Prashna. He blocked every avenue of escape that your Prashna could have had. I should also be on my way. You should be rid of all your worries on the subject. If the Hare is at all uppish and challenges you, don't hesitate to take up the gauntlet. Only remember the condition of starting ahead of him. You will win. You can be sure that you will win.